Daniel Harker had always found peace in the mountains. At 41, hiking was his way of escaping the city, the screens, the endless hum of traffic. He carried only what he needed: a pack, a lantern, and a notebook for sketches. On the second night of his trip through the Appalachian backcountry, rain forced him off the trail. Searching for shelter, he found a fissure in the rock face wide enough to slip inside. It wasn't a cave listed on any map. Inside, the air was unnaturally dry, the stone walls carved with spirals and claw-like grooves. Daniel set down his lantern, fascinated. Then his boot struck something. Bones, blackened and brittle, arranged in a circle. In the center, a stone altar crusted with what looked like ancient blood. The lantern flickered, and from the dark beyond the altar, something began to stir. Daniel told himself it was only the wind funneling through cracks. But the sound that rose was not wind, it was whispering. Dozens of voices layered together, their words too old to understand but heavy with hunger. He backed toward the entrance, but the cave seemed longer than before, the way out swallowed in shadow. His lantern dimmed until only the altar glowed faintly. On it, the stone pulsed like a heartbeat. Daniel's chest tightened. He fumbled for his flashlight. The beam caught movement, something crawling along the ceiling, impossibly long limbs folded like a spider. Its body was emaciated, skin stretched taut over bone. Its head was a skull-like mask, hollow eyes gleaming faintly. The whispers rose. "Join us. Feed us." Daniel stumbled, nearly dropping the light. The creature descended soundlessly, claws scraping stone. He bolted, but every direction led him back to the altar. The cave had become a labyrinth, and the monster was closing in. Daniel pressed his back to the altar, the whispers drilling into his skull. The creature towered above him, mouth opening wider than humanly possible, lined with jagged teeth. Yet instead of lunging, it spoke, its voice not from its maw, but inside his mind. "You are hollow," it whispered. "You carry emptiness. Fill it with me." Daniel shook his head violently. "No, I'm not your vessel." Images flooded his vision. Ancient hunters binding the creature in this cave, sacrificing their own to keep it starved. Centuries of silence, waiting. It had fed only on the rare wanderer who stumbled too close. Now it wanted more. "I can give you endurance," it promised. "Strength beyond your fragile years. Let me wear your skin, and you will never fade." Daniel's pulse roared in his ears. It wasn't offering, it was demanding. The whispers grew louder, pressing on his skull like claws. With a surge of will, Daniel grabbed a shard of blackened bone from the floor and held it like a blade. "I'd rather die," he hissed. The whispers fell silent. Then the monster screamed. The sound was unbearable, shaking the cave walls. Dust rained from the ceiling. The creature lunged, its limbs cracking like branches. Daniel slashed with the bone shard, tearing across its claw. The thing recoiled, ichor hissing as it hit the ground. Daniel ran, not toward the entrance, but deeper, following a faint current of air. The whispers returned, furious now, urging him to turn back, to kneel. Instead, he found another chamber. The walls here were carved with murals, hunters plunging spears into the monster, binding it with fire. In the center stood a pit lined with charred stakes. Daniel didn't hesitate. He drew the creature into the chamber, its bulk filling the space. At the last second, he dove aside, shoving the lantern into the pit. Flames erupted as oil ignited. The monster shrieked as it fell, its body crashing onto the stakes. Fire licked its limbs, spreading fast. The whispers rose in one last crescendo, then cut out, leaving only the roar of flames. Daniel staggered back, coughing from smoke, eyes watering. For the first time since entering the cave, the way out was visible. The labyrinth had dissolved. He stumbled toward freedom, lungs burning. Daniel collapsed outside, rain cooling his skin. Behind him, the cave glowed faintly, the fire smoldering deep within. He didn't know if he had destroyed the creature or only weakened it again for another 100 years. But he had survived. The mountains were silent, save for the storm. No whispers, no shadows moving in the corners of his vision. As dawn broke, Daniel packed his things with shaking hands. He left his notebook behind in the cave, a silent offering to whatever remained. He didn't return to the trail. Instead, he made his way down the mountain, vowing never to climb this range again. Some peaks weren't meant to be conquered, and some hungers were older than humanity, waiting only for the next hollow soul to stumble too close. Thanks for watching. Is there anything you'd like to see in a short horror story? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe.